Hello everyone, it is Jaden and welcome back to another video. I thought I would do the kind of journaling ecosystem kind of trend. It's also kind of an update compared to the video that I made at the beginning of the year, because there's been some changes in the notebooks and sketchbooks and journals, etc. that I am going to be using or have been using. So yeah, let's get into it. As you can see, there are quite a lot. But also, before I actually get into it, I do not use these every single day. Some of them are just for fun. Some of them I haven't touched in a while, but I'll get into that. But anyways, now let's actually get started with the journals. All right, so first up is the tiny book for big ideas that came in the snail mail box that I got from Martina's Tiny Store. So I just kind of use this. So here it is. I have a little system of colored, I just made this little pocket of these colored stars for ideas that are either random, art related, business ideas, and then video ideas and notes. And I will just kind of throw this in my purse and take it around with me. It's just kind of a little space for preliminary sketches before I will add them into another one of my sketchbooks, or just for me to put an idea down somewhere before I kind of add it, so I don't forget it and stuff like that. But here it is. Just so far there's a lot of writing and a little bit of drawing and stuff like that. But yeah, this is just kind of a little on the go notebook for all sorts of ideas. All right, so this one is new, but also, before I get started, if you're curious what I am drinking, it is an iced peanut butter mocha from a local coffee shop, and it is actually quite good. But anyways, this is the art journal. If you watched my video from the beginning of the year, I was using a happy planner notebook for my art journal. But I mean, I ended up changing that idea because is this not the perfect cover for an art journal? So this is what I started using. This is one of the Denic journals. I guess that's how you pronounce the name. I really like their journals. And for this one, I've already gotten started. I just kind of used the intro page that I made for the Happy Planner notebook. And then I just kind of just pasted and wrote everything in. And I've talked about different artists, different pieces of artwork. I've had articles included in here, clip outs from magazines, but this isn't one that I use every day, but I do really enjoy working in this notebook. I think it's a lot of fun, especially as somebody who really enjoys art. So yeah, that is the art journal. Now let's get on to the next one. All right, this is another new face. This is one of the art creation sketchbooks, the Talon's art creation sketchbook. This is one of the longer ones. I don't know the particular size, and in silver. And this is my movie sketchbook. So I'm trying to watch more movies this year, and I thought one thing that would be fun is drawing scenes and stuff from different movies that I've been watching. I haven't finished my intro page, but I'll do scenes from it or draw characters. I'll include the date that I watched it. I haven't gotten super far. I've only gotten 2 movies in here, and also they're not finished. The Monuments Men spread is finished. Here's Return of the Living Dead. And then I have more drawings for Return of the Living Dead that I clearly haven't finished. But yeah, I think this is going to be fun. Like I said, I clearly haven't gotten far, and there's a lot of pages left to go in the sketchbook. But I just think it's a fun little thing to do. I don't know if I'll also include journaling about the movies in this. I'm going back and forth about whether that would be kind of fun or not. If you have any ideas, if you think maybe that would be kind of cool or not, just let me know. Next up is my Hobonichi, which I have definitely been struggling with trying to figure out what I want to do with it, especially now that I'm out of school and I don't have a lot going on. But I think I've kind of finally figured out what I want to do. I'm also, oops, there's some knocking over of other notebooks, but like I said, I think I figured out what I want to do. So for the monthly pages, I'm going to keep kind of doing like daily highlights kind of things and all that jazz. As you can see, I'm really behind. It's currently June. I haven't like wrote in it since April. Well, I have wrote in it since April, but I haven't like updated this. Like I'll show you all. So monthlies are going to be like the daily highlights kind of thing. For weeklies, I have been doing these weekly reports. I tried doing like summarized days, didn't like it. I had done articles. I had done also like Wordle and stuff like that, but I hated that. As you can see, I went over it with washi tape, and I've printed out some pictures for each week and to like include them here. But what I've decided to do for the weeklies are doing like this day in history kind of thing, and doing like different little facts and then like little doodles, which I think I've wrote out all of the facts, but I haven't done the doodles for all of them. But I'm really enjoying this a lot more compared to like some of the other ideas I've had for weeklies, and I'm definitely going to be continuing this. I already went ahead and did like, I just used a Crayola marker to make the lines a bit more prominent so that like all the facts and stuff didn't kind of blend together. And then as you can see, I'm behind in like the daily pages. I do have notes about what happened like each day, so I'm gonna come back and fill those in. But in May, like once I've kind of gotten out of school, I was struggling with what to do. So at first I did this day in history, but like now that I'm going to be doing that in like the weeklies, I don't have to be doing it in the daily pages unless there are like multiple facts that I found interesting. But I've decided if there's like nothing going on that day, I'll just kind of like do, I guess, a little bit of like commonplacing, if you will. So this is Mother's Day, so I did like a little bit about like Mother's Day. This is some facts about cupcakes and thunder, lipstick and bubblegum, and I've been like really enjoying this, and I think it's like a lot of fun. If you're curious about like how I pick out like which to write about or what to write about for the day, I just found I think it's supposed to be for like daily doodles, but I instead just kind of like took the words, instead did research about the things as opposed to drawing them. But yeah, I've been really enjoying this. As you can see, I am still a bit behind. Was there any more I wrote? Yeah, I wrote about like ice cream and stuff like that. But like I said, I do need to go back in. Also, if you can like hear like tapping, I really apologize. They're doing work on like a auto shop like near where I live, so I apologize if you can hear that. But yeah, I really need to do a lot of updating in this and filling stuff in. I also need to do like the little monthly like mood board things for May, June, and also April. April doesn't have one either. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how my like the ideas that I've come up with in terms of like figuring out how to fill in my Hobonichi, since that was something I was really struggling with. I don't think I'm going to get like a dated Hobonichi like this next year, just because it's been like a lot to like kind of keep up with. I think for next year I might do like the day free and turn that into kind of like a journaling, as opposed to trying to figure out what to fill in for like every single day. Also, if you're curious, I had in the very back here movies that I had been watching. I've got a couple checked off. I included even more over here. The writing's really ugly. But I've watched Brokeback Mountain, The Thing, Fight Club, Inglourious Bastards, The Return of the Living Dead, Monuments Men, and Cool Hand Luke. Not a lot, but... Oh, I also watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's not on my list, but I did watch that movie, and I really enjoyed it. I also watched Misery. I guess I didn't have that one here either. Oops. But... yeah, as you can see, I have a lot to go. You know, you would think like watching movies is something that'd be like really easy to do, but sometimes I just can't get myself to do it. I don't know. Also, I need to add, like I said, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Misery to this, since they're nowhere on here. And I think those are all of the movies that I've watched so far. But yeah, let's get on to the next thing. My everything journal. I finished the other one, which I need to do a flip through of it now that I think about it. Continuing the theme of using the Leuchtturm 1917 with the American Girl doll sticker on the front. This was supposed to be started in March. These are the only spreads that have like made it to this journal. I have like junk and stuff, and I have it sorted in terms of like which each like month like the junk is from. I just need to like actually do it. So there's not much in terms of my everything journal. As you can see, I'm also really far behind with that. That's kind of a trend here, but oh well. On to the next thing. Here's my sketchbook. If you saw my school flip through, this is another one of those like Midori B6 slim size. I talked about how much I loved it, so I thought I would get one for my like everyday sketchbook. This sticker is from the Coffee Monsters Co. I absolutely love it. I think it's really cute. And then I just took these like random star stickers and decorated the front and back. And I've also kind of gone ahead and done the intro page, again doing like the comic book inspired kind of vibes. It says welcome to Jaden's sketchbook, but Jaden, if you don't finish this sketchbook, I'm gonna come to your house and rip up all your X-Men, which is like a play on like the original cover. And it's also like a way for me to like finish my sketchbooks. I start and stop, such a bad habit of mine, but I'm determined to actually continue using this one. But yeah, as you can see, I haven't gotten far with it, but I will, I swear. I will not like stop and like not finish this one. I will complete it. I promise. I hope. On to the next thing. Next up is just my Kinbor planner, which is just like the cheap version of like a Hobonichi Weeks. I really like this. I do like these little like pixelated like tracking thing. And then I just kind of like each week like write out whatever I'm going to do. I need to like mark off some of these things for this week, but each week I just kind of like decorate it. When I was in school, I used this section to like separate it by classes of like what I needed to do. But now that I'm like out of school, I just do like a running to-do list. And because like I can do like any of these things, like any day of like the week. But yeah, and then in the back, I have like some random notes about stuff. And then I was also did like more like movie list where I also had like the dates. As you can see, I have not watched a movie since May 7th, which is like almost a month. So I need to get on it. But yeah, I really enjoy this kind of little like planner. I think I will get one of these again for next year just because I like the size, I like the compactness of it. And yeah, I don't know, it's just really nice. Oh, here's my vision board and my goals. But yeah, on to the next thing. This is my JMU journal. All of the pages are filled in terms of like photos, but I haven't actually written out like the spreads. So I really need to do that. But yeah, just another thing that I am so incredibly behind on. Hopefully I will get this finished sometime over the summer. But again, this is also clearly like not another like journal that I use all the time. But let's see if I can get the pen back on here, because this is the pen I was using to write the last spread. But yeah, this was just like kind of documenting my time at JMU. I do have like another like journal that I could use for like documenting my final year at JMU, because this next year is going to be my final one, but I'm not 100% sure. That was wild. I'm not 100% sure if I will continue to use it or not. I haven't really decided, or like if I'm going to use it as like another JMU journal, or instead just like include all of the JMU stuff in like something like the everything journal. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, on to the next thing. Okay, we're almost done. After this one, there's only two more and they go together. But this is the Spilled Coffee Studio journal. I was doing it like writing about like stuff that I had made and like events that I was doing, and then I decided to use it for like ideas. Where's the page where, yeah, designing and stuff like that. I've also kind of used it. I am really bad for taking screenshots of like ideas of stuff to make on my phone and just leaving them in my phone. So I decided to kind of print some of them out as like kind of like inspo for inspo for like crafts and stuff to make. So I will like paste them in here. Like here's an example: Altoid Tin Crafts, Sea Glass Crafts, just like for me to kind of like get like a feel of like ideas of stuff that I could make or like put my own spin on. But yeah, I just use this like for designing some stuff. I love like this little dog right here. I don't know how well you can see it because it's in like this pink cool erase pencil, but he's got like a big starry eyes and I think it's so stinking cute. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's a lot of like stuff like pasted in terms of like, this was all stuff that I had like screenshotted on my phone for like paintings and stuff like that. So I just went ahead and printed it all off so it didn't take up so much space on my phone. But yeah, on to the final 2 journals, and those 2 go together. So let's get into it. All right, here are the last 2 journals. These are technically sketchbooks, but I'm using them as journals, whatever, doesn't really matter. So I decided to do The Artist Way by Julia Cameron. That's been like trending a lot recently, and I've had the book, and I thought, well, it's like 12-week like kind of course thing, and I thought, well, since I'm on summer break, might as well do it. This is the perfect time. So this journal or sketchbook is I kept track of like when I started it, and I was like writing notes from the book, and then I'm currently also on week 2 when I am filming this journaling ecosystem, but I'll just like write notes from each chapter as well as kind of like doing like the weekly tasks in here. And I have been enjoying The Artist Way so far. Like, I can't say much about it because like I said, I'm only on the 2nd week. But I've definitely been like kind of enjoying it. So this page or this book is just for like the notes, and then this one is for my morning pages. As you can see, it's a little bit thicker, which I thought would be kind of perfect for like the morning pages. The morning pages are something I struggle a bit more with, since you need to write like 3 pages of just kind of like a brain dump kind of thing to get your day started, and I actually like really struggle a lot with trying to figure out like what I want to write for my morning pages. I'm not going to show you because you're not supposed to show anybody your morning pages. I guess I could do like a quick little like woo, but yeah, I struggle a lot with the morning pages. I feel like they take me longer than they should, because like I said, I kind of struggle with like figuring out what I want to write with my morning pages. But we'll see as like the weeks go on if it will get any better. But yeah, these 2 are my final 2 journals, a part of my like journaling ecosystem. I really hope that you all enjoyed this video. I know this wasn't like anything crazy, but I thought I would just kind of give you all an update of, how stuff has changed since I made like that last video. I know I had like a bunch of different journals. I know I had like another Hobonichi that I was going to use as a sketchbook, but clearly that changed. I think now that I was like thinking about like, I'm going to use that Hobonichi, but I don't think I'm going to use it for like a sketchbook or anything like that. I think I'm going to continue like using that other Hobonichi that I got, that out of date one, and using it kind of like this like commonplacing kind of thing. But yeah, here's everything. There's so many of them. I actually didn't even count how many there were, but there was a lot. And like I said, this is overboard. You do not need this much. But like I said, I also don't use these every single day. A lot of them are just like kind of like for fun. Like this is like one for fun, and I don't have a time limit of myself of like when I need to finish it. It's just kind of about stuff that interests me. But yeah, anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all have an absolutely amazing weekend. Let me know if you have any journals that you use and what you use them for, or planners or notebooks, sketchbooks, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, hope you all have an absolutely amazing day and an absolutely amazing week or weekend, depending on whenever you're watching this. And yeah, bye.